Well, hello again, rail fans, and welcome back to another video here on the channel here at Clear Signal Productions. Real quick now, we just pulled up here to CP38 on the CSX River Line, and I know we got a train right around the corner, so let's take a look and then we'll get into the video. Alright, so that was train number 1 and then train number 2 for our trip here today. We got the Q158 going south there, and then he ducked into the siding at CP38, and the Q003 came north around him. And now we'll get into the video and as to what we're doing today. So like I said earlier, we are set up here on the CSX River Line here at CP38 down in Tomkins, Cove, New York. And as you saw from those last couple shots, we are right on the water here. There's really only about 15, 20 feet, not even, more like 15 feet of standing room between the tracks and the river. So you're right on the water here, and it's like that a lot down on the southern part of the river line. But anyway, there was unfortunately one train that I did come out here for today that we did miss. It was the Q008, and he had a CSX SD40 leading. But actually that's not, that's actually not extremely rare nowadays, which is kind of interesting to say. I feel like there's been a lot of SD40 leaders lately. We just haven't caught one in a while, so that would have been nice, but it's also not a huge loss. We also missed him by about 45 minutes, which is actually less annoying in my opinion than missing it by 5 minutes, if you know what I mean, because if we had missed it by about 5 minutes, it would have been, like, oh, we were almost there. But missing it by 45 minutes is a little bit less annoying. And just looking across the water here, now I can see we got Q007 coming up, and it looks like a really short train. Even really short for him. So let's get out now once again and take a look. And here's that Q007 coming up around the tail end of that Q158 we just saw. Kind of see him through the trees there. It's a long range shot here, right across the water. Oh, and 158's on the move. Alright, so that was train number 3 for our little trip here today, Q007. And it's now 8:15 in the morning, and we are now entering the Iona Island here in Bear Mountain, New York. Shortly before the 003 came through, I'm pretty sure I heard a southbound calling the signal up at automatic 47, and I'm assuming he took the siding at 45 and waited out for the Q003 and the 007, and now we're here on Iona Island, here at automatic 41. So if my assumptions are correct, I'm pretty sure we have a southbound, not 100% positive, but we'll set up here at 41 and wait around for a little bit, and we'll see what we catch. Alright everyone, so it's coming up on 9 o'clock in the morning now, and we're here set up at CP43 here at Mindock Park in Fort Montgomery, and we do have a southbound finally coming. Now we sat over at Iona Island on automatic 41 for about half an hour, and then I heard the Q409 call automatic 49. So that train we heard at 47 must have been a northbound, probably the 003 or something. But now we're set up here at 43, and we're going to get a shot kind of like this for the 409. And we'll probably hang out here for a while and see what else we get. Well, I said this last time, but I'll say it again. One of my favorite things about the lower river line is some of these spots that are right on the edge of the water. I mean, just look at this scene. We got the mountains here, we got the bridge, got the river, and we got more trains across the river. But I mean, it's just really nice here, really peaceful. Just a great place to stand outside, sit outside, wait for the trains to come by. I know I keep mentioning that I do want to spend a 24-hour period here at Mindock Park. But I just haven't built up the patience for that quite yet. But I mean, it's just beautiful here. Got the birds chirping, sun's coming out. Just really nice here. But anyway, we'll get back to some trains. It sounds like we got a Q567 coming up next. Okay, so it is 10:42 now in the morning, and of course we just got the Q567 there. Kind of a rushed shot, but we're gonna try it again because actually it looks like we've got the opportunity to try it again. This signal just came in, and I was actually about to just take off when I looked over at the signal one more time and noticed there's a medium approach up on CP43 northbound. And this signal actually tells us that we've probably got two trains coming, because this northbound has an approach signal, or a medium approach rather, which means he's going to be taking the siding here at CP43 and stopping up at CP45, more than likely for a southbound. Not really sure what else they'd be stopping for, but you never know. As for what this northbound is, my best educated guess is Q157. The CP10 log hasn't been updated for about an hour, so I'm not quite sure what it could be. And then as for the southbound, another educated guess is Q433. That's more likely, but neither guess of mine is very solid right now. But for this northbound, whatever it may be, we are definitely going to try that shot there with the rock cut again, because it was pretty rushed and I'm not entirely satisfied with how the stills or the video came out. So we're going to try it again, and then we're probably going to do another shot with the southbound with the rock cut here, because there's a good angle I noticed when I was walking around there for the 409. But anyway, we're going to keep an ear on the radio and find out what these two trains are that we got coming. Alright, so it's now 12:30 here in the afternoon, and we're over here at the Steelways shipyard, or at least the former shipyard, over in Newburgh, New York, at CP55 on the River Line. And let's see, what have we seen over the past 2 hours? We did in fact get that Q157 and that Q433, so my assumptions were correct. And then after 433 went through, we came up here to Newburgh because I heard the dispatcher talking to that 567 that we saw earlier. And he told 567 that he's got one to get south and then signal indication north out from CP69 up in Milton. So I knew that we had a southbound coming, of course, and then upon further investigation, upon listening to the radio some more, I heard him tell the same thing to Q157, except they were stopped here at CP55. So I figured I'd come up here to 55, and I also knew that the 212 that we just saw had an AC-44 leading, and I wanted to do kind of a sort of like a classic style shot with the old steel building up here and the AC-44 leading the train. So I think it came out pretty good, and I think I pretty much achieved what I was going for. So I'm satisfied with that. And then after the 212 went through, we got the 157 one more time, once again with another AC-44 leading. As for what's coming up next, now I really have no idea. Because noon time on the River Line is kind of, I guess, anybody's guess, as people usually say. After noon, 1 o'clock, around that time, the River Line kind of shuts down for a couple hours. The only thing probably still coming is the Q403. They should be coming south probably within the next 2 hours or so. So really, there's probably we're getting into an hour period of here of no trains, is what I'm trying to say. So maybe we can go grab some lunch, and maybe we'll just kick back for a little bit.
157 over.
Maybe we'll go get some lunch and kind of just chill out in the car for a little bit until something else shows up. But for now, I do know there's a couple of northbounds that were reported down in the Philadelphia area. They should be getting into Oak Island probably pretty soon here. One of them was the Q410, which actually has another AC-44 leading, and then I guess a couple of CP units trailing, so that's going to be something to see later on. I'm not familiar with the operations down in Oak Island at all. I don't know if they work Oak Island. I'm fairly certain they do, though, but I'm not familiar with the ops down there, like I said. And then there's a K611 coming north, which also has an AC-44 leading, and then a 70 Mac trailing. So that's going to be something pretty nice to catch later on, too. I'm pretty sure both trains do at least crew change at Oak Island, and then I'm fairly certain that the 410 does have work there. But again, not positive. But anyway, those will be trains for later on. And for now, let's just see what we get. Alright, so it's a little bit past 4:15 now in the afternoon here, and it's been kind of quiet for the past few hours, like I predicted. We got that Q403 up in Milton at 1:30, and then we shot down to the northern part of Newburgh, where we got the Q434, and then we went down to central Newburgh, where we got the K611. And then I did try to chase K611 on up to Highland or West Park, or something like that. But by the time he had gotten through Highland already, I was about 10 minutes from Highland still, so I knew I wouldn't be getting ahead of him anytime soon. And then after I decided to call it quits on the K611, or actually right before I decided to call it quits, I got a notification in the Facebook group that covers the river line, and I saw a post that the Q410 I mentioned earlier is northbound from CP5. And it looks like they've dropped the CSX leader, so now it's just the two CP locomotives powering the train, according to a photo that someone posted. So we're going to head on down towards Fort Montgomery, actually probably to Iona Island, set up there, and we'll wait for him there. And chasing is a little bit easier down that way. Between Iona Island and Newburgh, that's not much of a stretch at all. We should be able to make that without any problems. But anyway, that's what's going on, and we'll see what we get from here. Alrighty folks, so it's a little bit past 6:30 now, and we're here at Katrine Lane in Lake Katrine, New York, and we've got the Q004 coming south now, just like I predicted. The Q410 is in the siding to the south of us at Kingston at CP90, and we're here at automatic 92, and we've got the Q004 coming in just a few minutes here. The signal behind us just came on, so that means he just passed the signal 1 block north of us, so we should be here within the next 5 minutes or so. And we're going to get a shot of him next to these trailer homes here along this little straightaway. And I do know that he's got a Dash 8 trailing, one of the recently reactivated Dash 8s, so that would be neat to see. And then we'll drive up to that end of the tree line there and turn ourselves facing south for the Q410. And then after that we might just call it a day, because it's a little bit late. I've been out since about 7:30 this morning, but we'll see. We might turn in early. Alright folks, so I think we're going to wrap it up here for today. It's coming up on 7 in the evening now, and my drive home is just over an hour and a half, probably hour and 45 minutes. So I think it's time to head on that way. So those last two shots that we just got here at Katrine Lane and Lake Katrine was of the Q004 and the Q410 with those two CPGs that we've been chasing for pretty much the whole afternoon. That 004 shot was a little bit rushed, but actually it was one of my better rushed shots. The gates behind me started going down right as I was getting out of my car anyway. So I had to slap my video camera here onto my tripod and get it leveled out, and then Q004 came whipping right around that corner, right at track speed like you guys saw, and he was really moving, so that was pretty neat to see. And then of course he had that recently reactivated Dash 8, the 7774, trailing second out, so that was also pretty neat. And then, let's see, I guess now would be our summary of today. Of course we started off things down in Tomkins Cove, down at 38, way early this morning, thinking way back now. And we got the Q158, the Q003 there, and the Q007 right on the water there, right at CP38. Always like that shot, but it's getting a little bit grown in, and hopefully CSX decides to do some either brush cutting or weed spraying, though I don't know if they can really do any weed spraying because they're right on the Hudson River, so it's probably going to be brush cutting if they do anything at all. But anyway, after that, let's see, where did we go? Today's been a long day, guys. I'm trying to remember where we went after that. CP43, we got the 433 there and the 157. Then after that, we went up to Newburgh and got 212 and the 157 again. And then from there it got quiet for a little bit. But actually not quite as quiet as I thought it would. Usually between 1 o'clock and 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, there's usually only really one train that comes around. And we lucked out and we got 3. We got the 403 up in Milton. And then we went down to Newburgh yet again and got the Q434, the K611, and then we shot back down to Iona Island and got the Q410 for the first time. So a lot of up and down along Route 9 West here, over that span of really 30 miles of the riverline. I was just thinking on that last drive north, I thought to myself, man, I've been on this road about 5 times today, and here I am again. But anyway, that is pretty much the summary for today, and then of course these last 2 shots here in Lake Katrine. Oh, and then that one shot at West Park there, at 78 there. I would like to give you guys an idea as to what's coming up in the future, but as usual I have no idea. Big surprise, right? So I'm just gonna go right ahead and say subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Find me on Facebook and Instagram. Links will of course be down in the description below and right after this. And I guess that's about it. So thank you for watching, guys. As always, I'm Denise, and I'll see you all in the next one.